Everybody, Chris here. Welcome on a Saturday night special edition of Chris Packs Live. We've got a lot to talk about. Big dip in the market. Obviously, everyone was aware of what was going on. And typical kind of response of a market like crypto when there is this worrisome news, the price crashes, and then more information comes out and it starts to recover. And then another second little dip, and then we recover. And that's what I tweeted out earlier today. It's like, yep, that's typically what happens. And that's what we've got. But will there be more? And what else is going on? So we're going to be checking on the news, looking at the charts, and everything else going on, along with taking your questions as well. So welcome. Dogecoin 15.4, Bitcoin 64,000 now. It actually had broken up back over 65,000, but it came down to 61.5. 61.5 was Bitcoin's low for the day. But we go to the 4-hour chart, and this is about where Bitcoin was back on the 19th of March. When there was a big dip, Bitcoin had dropped down from 73,000 all the way down to 61, and then traded back up to the 70s, and we're just right back there. So this isn't this huge low for Bitcoin. Bitcoin's actually done okay, despite worrisome news. And there was this lady on the news who was just saying, well, I'm not going to say it's World War III. Then why did you just say that? These news people are just insane. Who knows what to believe? But I always stay tuned onto X because X always seems to have the most breaking news that's going on. 4 Iranian ballistic missiles have struck the Israeli Ramon Air Base in the Negev Desert. So there's something that has actually hit. And I know Mr. Chocolate says that the war's finished, but Israel's going to strike back. So the war's not finished. The Iranian part of that volley is done, and Israel is going to strike back. So this is going to go on. The war's not finished. So I don't know what that is going to mean in terms of maybe as far as crypto is concerned. That was the dip on the fear of what was going to happen. Now we actually see what's happening, and we're more informed about what is happening, that it's not going to be this huge, giant thing, most likely, at least in the near term. And the markets are probably going to recover. That's what we're going to be looking at. So here's Doge's chart. Now, Doge last saw 15.4 back here on 22nd of March, which wasn't too long ago either. And the dip that Doge had down to 13.2 cents was last seen on the 20th of March. So we're not going back to like last year, right? In terms of this dip. And those that were saying, oh, Doge going down to 8 cents or Doge going down to 4 cents. I saw these comments. I'm just like, people, really? Are you serious? But yeah, if you were able to snatch up some Doge in the 13s, awesome. Good for you. That was a dip. If you had money sitting on the side waiting for a big dip, there it was. I bought up here back on 2nd of April on that dip, thinking that 17.5 was a good buy. Doge will be back up there. Yeah, 11 cents or 10 cents. Right now, I don't see that. But then after yesterday's dip that went down to like 16 cents and came back up. And I predicted that Doge was then just going to settle in between 17 and 17.5, which it was doing until the war news today. So I don't think we're going to be seeing this huge giant dip down to 10 cents. That's just not in the cards right now. Now it looks like we're going to be settling right in for Doge at about 15.4. Bitcoin around 64,400, and ETH is back over 3,000, and we'll watch whether ETH stays above 3. But there were others that did very well today, like Jasmy. Jasmy is like, I don't know what you're talking about. Jasmy's just been trading very well and has been in the green for the past 24 hours. So good news for Jasmy. There's some deal with Panasonic going on. They weathered some big sell-off from some big market maker, and Jasmy's doing fine. So that's good for Jasmy. No, we're not going to war. Big bucks. We're not going to war. We'll hear more details of what the United States involvement was in helping to intercept Iranian drones and or missiles. And that's the support that the United States said they were going to give, and most likely they did some of that. If Iran finds out that it was anything more than that for the US, that could be problematic. If Israel wants to do more against Iran, that could be problematic, depending on what the United States involvement is. But for now, Iran has launched the stuff, right? Some of it has hit. Most likely Israel is going to respond. That's all we know right now. I just had dinner and I'm having a drink here, chatting with you guys. So let's see what else is going on in the chat, and then we will get to more of the news. Jared Hutt says, just buy the dip. Simple as that. This was a good dip. Samuel says, meet Kevin as a world events news reporter now. He's always kind of covered news events whenever it impacts markets. That's what I'll say about Meet Kevin. So yeah, he could be doing that. Mike wants to know how much it's going to go up. Well, Dogecoin's going to the moon. It's when it's going to the moon. And how soon? Right now, in the short term, it looks like there's a recovery from 13 cents, and we're hanging out right around 15 and a half cents right now. So that's where we are right now. Hey, Jason. Matt says, I'm not waiting for a price point to sell. I'm waiting for X payments integration and Tesla. Exactly. So for those who said, I should have sold Doge at 20 cents. Well, I mean, you don't know events like this are going to happen. They usually do at some point in time. You just never know when. And those thinking, well, I could have sold at 20 and bought back in at 15. When you look back in history, it makes a lot of sense. But when it's live right at the time and Doge is trading up at 20 cents, you're not thinking it's going to drop down to 15 cents. So you don't sell and you don't play that game because you don't know. So don't beat yourself up because you didn't sell when Doge was 20 cents. Don't do that. Hold at 15 and then dive with more bad news overnight. That could happen. Something else could happen overnight. And that's the one thing about crypto trading is it's 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So there's no stock trading going on. Monday morning in the stock market may be pretty tough. But crypto took the brunt of it today. That's for sure. Teodoro says, I think they just used it as an excuse before the halving to drop the price. You know, there are some who saying that maybe it was the Asians who wanted to drop the price because the Bitcoin and ETH spot ETFs are going to start trading in Hong Kong, maybe on Monday. And so they wanted lower prices. We'll see whether that holds out through Sunday, but I think that there's nothing like that. This isn't that kind of manipulation. This is reaction to the news is what this is that has happened. What a day for Israel. It's becoming more and more war. This has been growing, building for quite some time. And so I think the reason that, and this is just this guy in Boston, right, with this idea that Israel didn't cave to all of the pressure in Gaza of stopping fighting there because it'll just keep going on. It'll just keep going on. All of the terror, all of the everything going on. So Netanyahu made a stand and said, no, we're not. We're not going to keep this going. So, I don't know. We'll see. Matt says, inflation is good for crypto, then wouldn't the possible change in government leadership lead to deflation? And then wouldn't that be bad for crypto? I think that I don't think we would get into deflation, but one thing that would be interesting to see is if the Republicans win in November, which would be Trump, Trump can only serve one term. So he doesn't have to worry about getting reelected. Now, whoever Trump's vice president is would probably be running for president in 2028. But Trump doesn't have to. He would be a lame duck president from the day he steps back into the White House, if that's the way it plays out. And he could probably do some smart things financial-wise to help deal with our debt and curb inflation without having to worry about what the voters think, and could possibly do the right thing. I'm being optimistic, but I'm trying. Oh, Mike is looking at the how high can Doge go and is saying $5 in August. We could, I mean, if X payments on X Twitter rolls out and Doge is part of the financial thing on X, then yeah, we could see something like that for Doge. Yeah. Maybe not 5 right away. That may take some time. Hi, Tamim. Yep. Glad to be here, sharing a Saturday night where we can talk about what's going on. Samuel says, hey, this is crypto. Yeah. M. Huzafa, I think this is going to be something that's going to be going on for a while. And depending on how it escalates, the markets may not like it. We may still have a lot of challenges in the markets. So, yeah. Matt says, I have the same plan as you with my family. I'm only 34, but I want to use my crypto profits to help with future real estate, passive income opportunities. Yep. I'm looking for taking crypto profits and rolling it into real estate, probably early next year, because I'm not going to live through another bear market if there is one. But I'm a little older too. So, Low Roller made it. Thanks for the comment earlier. I was already planning on coming on, but you asked. Here I am. Someone hit buy limit 15 yesterday. Remember someone said that? Yep. They hit it. 3 bits, three dips today for Elon. Yeah. Coffee AI, welcome. Exciting times. Dips mean vacay trips for the bulls when we buy. Doge to 5 cents. I don't think so. We're not going to see that. Mars picked up some Doge at 1377. Good price. Picked up 1,000 Doge at 13.6 for swing low. That's some good buying there. That's some good buying. Are we toast or what? No, no big box. And Jason got some at 13.9. A lot of 13s. Awesome. Just bought 115,000 Doges, Joe did. Cheers. Armando, don't be scared. This is typical markets. It's been worse. If you had crypto in March of 2020, you saw worse when the pandemic hit and everything got shut down. Bitcoin went from like 9K to 3,000. I mean, that was like lost over half of its value. That would be the same today as if Bitcoin went from 70K all the way down to 35 or lower, and that didn't happen. So this isn't that bad compared to those huge drops. And then if you've been listening to me for the past few months, what have I said? Again and again, during bull markets, there are always big pullbacks. So we would expect 20 to 30% pullbacks. They happen during bull markets. They've had for the last 3 cycles, and yesterday and today, that's another one. And that was expected. And so what do? You just hold through because we're still in a bull cycle. And eventually, this is all going to right itself, and the markets are going to continue up. They have for 3 previous cycles. This exact thing has happened. We're in the middle of it now. Yes, it looks scary. Yes, it looks bloody. When you look at a chart, the bubbles like this, and almost everything is red, and mostly 10 to 15, 19, 20% down. That's not pretty. Not pretty at all. But if you are an investor and you believe in cryptocurrencies, you say, buying opportunity. It's a buying opportunity. Will the markets go lower? They could. They could go lower. Will they? That we don't know. So the best you can do is be ready with some cash and buy on the dips like a lot of you have. That 13-cent Dogecoin is looking pretty good right now. It's looking pretty good. Here's Doge up here, down 12% over the past 24 hours. 13.6 was a nice price right there. Now, will this curve around and come back down? It could. It could do that. Looks like we're trying to break down below 15. Bitcoin is coming back down here. Just dropped below 64, now 63.5. So we are seeing a drop in Bitcoin happening right now. Yes, this is an opportunity to pick up some coins at a cheaper price if you missed it before. I know there were a lot of you that were buying at 19 and 20 cents for Doge. You're buying Bitcoin at 69K. Now's a chance to buy lower and bring that average down. And the bear in the house here with 4-cent Dogecoin, and the charts just do not support that at all. Doesn't support that at all for 4-cent Doge. Doge hit 4.95 cents in June of 2022. That was the low in the last cycle. It's not going back down to 4. We're not going to see 4-cent Dogecoin again. The longer it takes to moon, the more Doge I'll have, Mar says. And that is it. That is people who are accumulating. And this is another chance to scoop up more Doge so then we can go to the moon. Armando says, yeah, what can we do? Buy more. I think George was already, but is he in divide? So, flight tracker. Let's look at flight tracker. This is interesting. Maybe we can see where George's plate is. But look at this. So I was already zoomed in here, but we see that everything is being routed around Syria, Iraq, Iran. Everything is routing around it. So anything coming from Europe that would normally be flying straight across is all being rerouted. Now, I did hear a report that Egypt was going to close its airspace, but it looks like that's not happening. And we see a lot of flights coming through Egypt here, which is kind of interesting. So Egypt didn't close. So here's like a flight from Milan to Addis Ababa. Here's a flight from Zurich to Victoria, and it's flying over Egypt. So yeah, Egypt opened its airspace to allow these flights to go through. Yeah, a lot of flights being rerouted around this area. It's an interesting one that's getting close here. Dubai to Paris. So here's a Dubai to Paris flight that normally probably would have cut right over Syria or Jordan, and it is rerouting here to the south and is going to fly over Egypt. So that's probably the reverse of what George is on, going from Paris to Dubai. Pretty interesting. Yeah, they're all stacked up and they're all being rerouted here. Looks like what's happening. Anyway, that's kind of interesting. Yep, there's a whole pocket here that would normally be filled with planes. That's kind of interesting. Support levels. Support levels for Doge. So we did look at this Fibonacci here before, and this is the same one that we've been watching here from about 12.5 cents up to 22 cents. And that level was 14.3. That was the 0.2. That was the 0.23 level on the Fibonacci. That was support back here for 3 days. This is on the daily we had back on 16th, 17th, and 18th of March, right there. That was the next support line. And Doge dipped below that. But then shot right back up. And then after 14.2, 14.3 right in there, then it goes all the way back down to 12.5. So 12.5 and 14.2. So let's take a closer look at that on the 4-hour chart. And you can see the tail on that, the wick on that candle there did drop low, but that was a flash tail that came down, but was enough for some of you, again, to scoop up some Doge in the 13s, but came right back up. So we'll see whether Doge holds 15 and comes back and retests that line. And that does indeed become support. We'll watch that. If Biden gets reelected, he doesn't have to worry about it either, but the Democrats play different games than the Republicans. And they like to spend. So there's a big mess to get sorted out with monies in the US. Yeah, I don't think he'll do that this time. I don't think he'll do that. The tax cut thing was just a promise that he made, but he's not talking about that now. Not that I've heard. Inflation wasn't too bad during his administration. Not like what happened over the past 3 years, the crazy inflation that we have now. That's a good question. I thought crypto was supposed to be a hedge. I think we will see that, but it's a riskier asset still and is more susceptible to rumors, instant news, things like that. And so when that happens, you do see crashes like this. But once things sort of get figured out, I think you'll see Bitcoin recover right back up to 69K. Buy when you see red. Buy when there's fear. That is true. Yeah, I'm going to be in Florida, and I'm not going to have my whole live stream set up with me. So I will not be going live next week. So this is it. You get an extra with me tonight. Big box. My move is I want to do something with the money. I don't want to sit through another bear market. And I'm not going to have $1 million sitting in a bank account getting 4 or 5% interest at the most. And real estate's just going to keep going up. So it's going to be real estate, and then come 2027, we'll see where we are. But that's my plan. I'm buying real estate in 2025, and then I'll be saving through 2026 to re-enter the crypto market in 2027. That's my plan. If Trump wins, there will be a lot more confidence in the markets, and we'll recover the losses. That could be. I didn't lose any money today, low roller, because I didn't sell anything. Yes, spell tokens went down a lot, as did a lot of other things. But I didn't lose. And in fact, I'm still ahead on my spell token. Let's see, how far did spell drop down today? Didn't go down to 0.00055. It hit about 6.5, but not 5.5, which was my buy-in price. So I'm still in the green on my spell tokens. I'm not worried. I'm not worried. Oh, is Biden going to speak now? Yeah, I heard he was going to speak, and then that got canceled. See what he says. Here we go. Everyone freaking out again. Yeah, Jeremy. That's what people do, though. So I come on. Try and keep things real. But it looks like the volume has ticked down a bit. Bitcoin just dropped below 63K and now is back up to 63.8. So we are still seeing some moves here. It's a hedge, just very volatile. Long-term holders not phased. Exactly. In fact, it was expected. Again, I've been talking about it for 3 months that we're going to see these pullbacks. And there are others saying it as well. Here's an account that I used to follow called GCR. Hasn't tweeted in a year. In a year. And then tweets today. And what does the tweet say? If you've been sidelined, believe this is a good opportunity to scale into high conviction tokens. If you're fully invested, just survive, hold your spot positions, and do not capitulate. Someone once said, liquidations are a forced transfer of wealth from traders who need leverage to wealthy spot buyers. I was enjoying retirement from social media, but don't want to see my brothers get shaken out when the future is still so bright. So thank you, GCR, for coming back on today. And so true, just hold your spot positions. Don't get shaken out. And what does Kevin say? Kevin Svensson? How did today's events change Bitcoin's trend? It didn't. The trend is still up. This is a pullback. And after a pullback, Bitcoin will turn around and continue in its bull market pattern. So nothing's changed. Pullbacks were expected. Again. There's always news going on, and there's always going to be something, right? Today, it just happens to be Iran, Israel. So it's expected, and then this will settle itself out, and then it'll just start moving back up. Does that happen before or after the halving? I tend to think we're going to see some good trading this week leading up to the halving, and then we'll see after the halving what's going to happen. I know, SP Narwhal, that's the problem with a weekend with crypto is if you've got anything locked up in the stock market, you can't touch it on the weekend. Yep, can't touch it. Monte Cristo is bullish. Wiped out a lot of liquidations right before the halving week. We were looking at all of the liquidations yesterday, right? And today, there were even more. So this is what we were looking at on the liquidation chart. Here was the Friday liquidations. And we were like $1 billion of liquidations, right? Well, look what we had today. That's probably $500 million, $600 million of liquidations. And a lot of those are new ones. And these are all new ones. ETH, Pepe, Sol, just getting wiped out. And we can see what some of the big ones are here. We can go to the $1 million ones and just go, oh my God, these are the big ones. And so, yeah, these are pretty recent. ETH, Bitcoin, ETH, BNB. Somebody had $1 million BNB liquidation. Wow. Who's putting up $1 million on a leveraged trade on BNB? Wow. Liquidated. God. It's like the guy who did the $1 million Pepe 3x long. And Pepe liquidated. Oh. Yeah, we think, Neil, that Monday will be the spot ETFs for both Bitcoin and ETH, but it's not guaranteed yet that they're going to start trading on Monday. That may be just the approval date. So we'll be watching to see whether that is indeed when they start trading or not. But there's no grayscale in Hong Kong. There's no outflows. These new spot ETFs will all be inflows, new money coming in. That could be a huge catalyst, as you say. Yes. David's worried about the Asian market. When the Asian market wakes up, are they going to panic sell? Well, the Asian market is up now. It's 8:30 in the morning in China. So I think we're doing okay. Maybe they're buying the dip. All right, nothing has changed, SPN Narwhal. Nothing has changed. Yeah, no one's talking about nuclear low roller. Oh, David's got some limit orders at 12. Right, we'll see. George doesn't want to get stuck into buy. I don't know, maybe he'll change his plans. I think he was pretty set on going to Dubai. That'd be crazy if Flight Radar picked up the misses and showed them. See what's going on. The flights are good. Here's one coming in. It's that one. Frankfurt to Dubai. It's kind of turned at a funny angle here. Why is it off track? That's weird. Where's that plane going, guys? This is the track of that plane. And now it's being shown here. That doesn't look good. Interesting. Seeing it live here, Jason, right now. If Flight Tracker is true, there's something going on with that plane. Yeah, its track just turned purple again. It's moving. That's pretty freaky. That plane just turned. What is going on? It's going to Dubai. So the traffic around Dubai. That is freaky, though. What's that one? Oh, that one's just going to Tehran. That's a local one. That's a local one. Mashhad to Doha. Anyway, kind of interesting to check out the flight tracker and see See that? Bitcoin coming back up, recovering. That was just a dip. Doge up over 15 cents. Jason reminds everyone to hit the like button. Appreciate it. Also, if you haven't subscribed yet, hit the subscribe button too. Concentrate a lot on Doge here, but we talk about other cryptos as well, other things going on the market, finances, all of that stuff. So welcome if this is your first time here. Yeah, it can't be a hedge if everyone sells. But a lot of retail traders get freaked out by big red candles when the price is dropping, and they sell. They panic sell. And that happens. And we had that again today. Those that didn't sell yesterday were panicked, may have sold today because the price went lower than yesterday. I'll probably go live tomorrow if Doge is under 10 cents. We'll see. Bonus stream. Yep, tomorrow, bonus stream. You got it. The only people panicking are the leverage, right? And people that don't understand crypto market. True that. I'm not worried. The bigger picture is Doge over 35 cents at a minimum, Bitcoin 100K at a minimum. It just might take a little bit longer to get there. The Asian markets Sunday night. Yep. Yeah, the Asian markets will be open, I don't know, 9 or 10 o'clock on Sunday night, East Coast time. iBeans is here. Glad you can make it. Kumquat, all holding together. Nothing can shake me after owning AMC. God, that AMC stock is just horrible, isn't it? I thought buying in at below $10 was going to be a steal. It's dropped to $3. It's ridiculous. But they diluted the hell out of those shares, just added so many. Ridiculous. Why couldn't it have just pumped to 28 cents before this happened? Because that's where you were going to sell. There's gambling and then there's Russian roulette trading. $1 million on BNB on a leverage trade. That's some gambling there. BNB. You know, 60, that's true. 12 cents doesn't seem so far away anymore, does it? Yeah, because yesterday I was like, there's no way. Wow. We came down to 1305. Looks like the low here. 1305 on Doge. That's pretty close to 12. That is pretty close. I know, tracking planes on a Saturday night. What else we got to do, right? The volumes ticked down a bit in the trading, so less volatility. Looks like we're flattening out a bit. Bitcoin right at 64K. That's not too bad. When they release the documentary in a few months, it will be a small YouTuber named Kriss who was streaming crypto and saw the rogue blade. Your brother is the guy who follows Elon Musk's plane. Sub 7 cents. Oh, Subway. What happens now is Dogecoin will go back to 30 cents. I think so. You picked up an extra 6,000. Prakash, I won't even say how much I'm down just today, but it's a lot. It's a lot. But again, overall, I'm still up on just about everything I own, and especially Doge. So I'm okay. And I'm not worried. I'm expecting it all to go higher eventually. CDM looking for a 50K BTC. We don't know what's going to happen. We don't know how this is going to play out on the news. Amir believes in Dogecoins. Hong Kong will approve ETF tomorrow. Maybe Dogecoin will get back to 22 cents. Good. 42-cent Doge on 420 would be awesome. Yes, Iran said they're concluded with their attack, and they said that an hour or two ago. But that doesn't mean Israel's not going to counter with something. Stock market futures are already down 500. Do they even do futures this early? Do they even do futures this early? If you just go to investing.com, typically you can see some futures here. But these aren't showing the futures. So I don't think there they are. There's the futures there. Yeah, the futures aren't trading yet. I think it starts later tonight. Or I mean Sunday night. I think the futures start opening up on Sunday night. So I think you got to wait 24 hours before that. But you can go to you go to investing.com and you can click on the futures button there. Yeah, 7 p.m. Central, which is 8 o'clock East Coast time. Yep. And then we'll see what happens with the futures. They'll probably be red. Yep. Buy the dip, King says. We've had a lot already that have said that they were buying 13-cent Doge. 13.6, 13.7, 13.9. All good prices. Oh, another one. Rodrigo, 13.9. But yes, everybody's down today. My portfolio is like, yeah, very bloody. I'm not worried. Not worried. Because we're going to the moon. Right, Shiba Sky? What's going on, Arif? We're watching the news to see what's going on. We're keeping track on the news here. So let's see what's going on. Buy the dip. Argentina stands with Israel. Iran says the next slap will be stronger. The next slap will be stronger. I guess that's their way of challenging Israel. Saudi Arabia telling Iran and Israel to chill out. Saudi Arabia playing peacemaker? Interesting. The list of all of the active wars since Bitcoin was invented. It's kind of interesting. Iran has launched 70 more missiles at Israel. Looks like there might be a second attack underway. Israel demands a UN session in response to Iran's attacks. So that seems to be the latest. Canada supports Israel. Germany stands by Israel. Yeah, I'm not seeing any news on anything in Israel really being hit. So that seems to be the latest. Not a lot going on. Doge now down to 14.9, Bitcoin down to 63.8. So we're continuing to watch the charts and see what's going on. Saudi Arabia, Egypt wouldn't support Iran. Yeah. No worries, Rodrigo says. We're playing the long-term game, 2025. That's my plan too. Same thing. 2025. Well, Jack, that's a good thought, but unfortunately, yeah, on USA, there were reports that there were USA planes up in the air over Israel helping to intercept drones. Will Russia stand with Iran? Let's send rockets to the moon. Bitcoin, Doge. Let's get some Doge on the moon, right? George's latest new video. USA will print $1 to $2 trillion. I mean, they haven't stopped printing. They're still printing. That's why we've got the inflation we have. Arif, did you lose 300? That means you sold. Are you down 300? I'm down 300. Yeah. But not worried. It's not good, but I'm not worried. How low? Well, that's why we're watching the news here, Nigel. That's why we're here live watching the news, because this is all going to be dependent on the news. And if something else bad happens, we're going to see the market respond. So right now, I mean, we're not having a full V recovery here. It's started to, people obviously buying, a lot of you guys too, buying in the 13s, right? Brought the price up. But now things have kind of moving sideways and ticking back down a bit. So there's still uncertainty in the market here. That's what we're seeing. Still uncertainty in the market. We can look at the biggest losers over the past 24 hours. And it's Ordi, EOS, Wormhole, Decentraland, Chiliz, Kava, Theta, CFX, WorldCoin, Aave, Mina, Optimism. Jasmine turned around. Jasmine was actually up and doing well. Kind of interesting that they're on this list here. Yeah, that's who we see. And who's been Who's been fighting this off? Celestia is up. Yeah, here's Jasmy. Yeah, I needed to refresh that because I know Jasmy's up. There's Jasmy. Although in the last hour, there's about 2% of profit taking in Jasmy going on. Yeah, what's moving in the last hour? Flare, KuCoin token, interesting. Athena. But what's down? Arweave, Ondo, Neo, Core, Chiliz, Kronos, Theta, Axie, Nervos, Fetch, Ronin. See, AI, the AI play doesn't help when there's a war going on. Fetch is down big. So yeah, that's what's going on the market right now. And you can always check out the crypto bubbles. Yeah, here's Celestia and there's Ondo that are up. And Jasmy. Those are an Arweave. Those are the 4 in the green. Everything else red. 14.95 for Doge right now. Might be our last chance at these prices. Load up, boys, says Mark. Could be. We did get spoiled. I think this crypto run-up that we had, particularly since January with those Bitcoin spot ETFs, that was a gift for having higher prices going into the Bitcoin halving, and now we're paying the price with this big sell-off. So yeah, Bitcoin's never gone up 8 months in a row in Bitcoin history. So how much is Bitcoin down month to date? So we looked that up, right? Bitcoin monthly returns. And we looked at the CoinGlass historical performance. And we saw it's down 11.5%. I don't know when this gets updated, but down 11.5% for April. That seems low. I would think it would be more than that. But yeah, what he's referring to is September, October, November, December, January, February, March. That's 7 months in a row. Bitcoin has been green. And if April turns green, that would be 8. Never been done. Nigel loaded up a few hundred to buy. Low roller says, don't sell, you don't lose money. If you've got leverage, if you're leverage trading, you're on your own. I can't help you. I don't know how many times I've said that over the past year. Don't use leverage. But then someone always says, hey, Chris, I did a 5X and I got $10,000. Right. And then you go and you do it again, and then you get liquidated and you end up with 0. That's how that game works. Ari loves my videos. Can I get a shot? Just give you a cheers. Appreciate the support, though. If anyone wants to become a member of the channel, I appreciate that. I mean, here is our CryssPax DCA portfolio. It's still up 132%. I just refreshed. We're still up 132% on our CryssPax DCA portfolio. For those that don't know, I put in $10,000, real money. This is a real portfolio. We bought crypto live on air during live streams. So this isn't like George's fake portfolio. This is real money. And not only that, but this 75,000 Dogecoin that's in this portfolio here, I'm giving away to those who join my channel. And I'll be giving that Doge away at the top of the bull market, which was not 22 cents. And it was not last week. We're in a dip now. Doge will be higher. I'm 99% confident of that. And I'm going to be giving away Dogecoin. This Dogecoin. But in order to receive Dogecoin, you got to do something for me and join the channel. You can subscribe. I appreciate subscriptions. Subscribe is great. But joining the channel gets your name in green in the chat, gets a check mark next to your name. You get to use all these really cool emojis that others don't get to use, like all these different Dogecoins, which are fun. And then all these other Doge emojis, which are fun. So you get to do that if you're a member. So think about that. If you have any questions, let me know. Jason just filled it up. Thanks, Jason. They have war from long time. Why market down now? Because there was like 200 drone missiles and other types of missiles that were just shot like 3 hours ago from Iran to Israel. It looks like most of them were intercepted, but some apparently have hit the ground. And we don't have anything new on that. But there's a video of what's happening. And hard to tell in the video if these are intercepts or in what these are. I was looking at this earlier. It is hard to tell. But yeah, lots going on over Israel there. So Biden has told Israel, do not respond to Iran. I guess Biden talked to Netanyahu. Well, that doesn't mean Netanyahu is going to listen to Biden. So we don't know. The President of the United States asked the Prime Minister of Israel to refrain from responding to Iran's retaliatory attack. Interesting. Footage of the Ramon Air Base in the Negev being hit by numerous Iranian ballistic missiles. So there are some that are hitting the ground. That looks to have been happening. Dozens of surface-to-surface missile launches from Iran were identified approaching Israel territory. The IDF aerial defense array successfully intercepted the majority of the launches, is the IDF statement. So that's the latest, but it's not keeping Doge from dipping a little bit still. And Bitcoin's down to 63.7 now. So still a lot of uncertainty in the market. Yeah, so the Kriss Pax DCA portfolio is doing fine. The Kriss Pax personal portfolio is still fine, but took a big hit today. Big hit today. Johnny says, I've got 12,000 Doge. Average cost is 22 cents. The original buy was 45 cents back in the day. You've been buying a little bit lower, lowering your average cost. That's the way to do it. That's the way. What are good to buy now? Well, we're watching the Doge chart right now, down to 14.8. We could see if Doge retests this 14.2 line. Actually, it'd be about, yeah, 14.3 right in there. Seems to be the line. So looks like Doge is going to try and retest that long support line that it was under earlier today. JS calls them discounts. Yeah, Nigel wants to use Doge as currency. When it's high, I don't like it, except when you're ready to spend it. Then you want Doge to be high, because then you've got more buying power when you're actually spending your Doge. So, well, Johnny, it's too late, only depending on, well, comparing to others maybe, but also not too late when Doge starts trading up to 30, 40, 50 cents, 60 cents, maybe even $1. And then you're going to have new people coming in at $1. And then you're going to say, yeah, it wasn't too late. CDM on the Bitcoin chart, support below 61K. Well, let's see what we got. I haven't looked at that on Bitcoin for a while. Yeah, 51. I have 59.4 here. And that was the dip that we had on 5th of March right there. That was a wick that came down to 59.4. And then after that, it's 51. Yep. That's the line. It's 51. But so far, Bitcoin held from 20th of March at 63.4 right there. That was the dip we had on the 19th and 20th of March, and then this repeated it. So you could almost see the trading of this as being like a kind of like a weird shape here. What is this? This is more like an M. Well, it's done a number of these, right? This is what Bitcoin's doing. So it's just kind of been following that shape. I mean, you look out on a weekly chart, and it's up here. This is the halving coming in next week. So we're 1 week away from the halving, which will be the next candle here on the Bitcoin weekly. And yeah, below 51K. Again, that is solid support right there for even on the Bitcoin weekly. It's 51K. Below that, it would be 41K. But nobody's talking about that right now. Doge on the weekly, that's a big red candle. We have one more day in the week. Sunday night, the week closes. That's a nasty candle. Meanwhile, zoomed in on a 15-minute, we're seeing some downward trading here, down to 14.6 now on Doge. Yeah, stocks are probably not going to be happy on Monday. Not going to be happy. We'll see how the futures open up tomorrow night, but it's probably going to be red. Salute, Daniel. I'm here. Now a member. Thanks for joining the channel. Thank you. So, Nigel, what you have to ask yourself here is, do you think Dogecoin is going to go higher than 14 cents from here? Don't worry about your average. Just worry about if you're going to buy some more and how much cash you have sitting on the sideline. So let's say you have $1,000 sitting on the sidelines and you're wondering whether you should buy Dogecoin at 14 cents or just keep the $1,000. I think Dogecoin is probably going to at least double in price from 14 cents to 28 cents. Your $1,000, right, your cash, is going to buy you less and less the more you hold it because of inflation. So that's the way I look at it. It's like, if your money isn't making you money, then it's inflating away. And we've seen that more and more the past couple of years than we have in a long time. So I wouldn't worry so much about your average. I would think about, if you want to buy some more, is the price going to go up from here? Because then you're making your money work for you, as opposed to just sitting on a bunch of cash and worrying about your average price. I bought more at 17.5 cents. That's this yellow line up here. And yes, my average went up when I bought that, but I'm fairly confident Doge is going to be higher than 17.5 cents in this bull market. It's going to be much higher. And I bought that on the dip, was feeling pretty good about that buy until yesterday. But I'm still feeling good about it. It's fine. Those that bought at 13 cents today, hey, you did better than me. Great. It's all good. Come October, we'll all be passing around the flu as well. Well, October is good crypto months. We were looking at that yesterday. October is usually green in crypto. Bitcoin is almost always green in October. So that'll be a good month, if history repeats. Is crypto affected by the war? It's affected only in the way people think about risk. And markets respond to news events. And war is a big news event that leads to selling. People want to sell, particularly high risk assets like crypto, because they're afraid it'll dump more. So they sell, and then they're sitting on cash. I mean, what else are you going to do with that cash? Buy gold? Yeah, I mean, gold isn't trading right now. Gold hasn't done too well here. Friday afternoon, gold had a big sell-off, which was kind of interesting that gold would have this big sell-off on Friday afternoon. And the gold market doesn't start trading until Monday morning, I guess. I'm not quite sure the hours of gold trading, but so yeah, we wait for gold to start trading again, see what happens. I'm guessing it probably goes up. Again, gold seems to be more of a flight to safety, less risky, so we could see gold go up. But it was interesting on Friday when gold sold off like this. Because whales are selling off. Maybe they want to buy some Lockheed. Yeah, the Raytheon stocks, right? So I had this article. Dogecoin whales transfer massive amounts amidst crypto crash. I haven't read this yet. It was whale alert. Somebody transferred 74 million Doge from an unknown wallet to Robinhood. I'm guessing it's another Robinhood wallet. Typically, when I see these kinds of things, it's Robinhood just moving coins around within their own wallets. But that could be. We know Robinhood has at least 36 billion Dogecoin in their wallets. Also heard that earlier today, during this this big volatility here, that people were having trouble trading on Robinhood, which is kind of interesting. I thought Robinhood was done with all of that. I thought that they could handle the volume, but maybe not. Maybe they're not there yet, which would be bad. Johnny bought $300 of Doge. Jason welcomes Anir. Welcome to the fam. Mark says, you only live once. No risk it, no biscuit. Go all in. LFG. Thanks for everything. You're welcome. And it's good hanging out on a Saturday night. Don't normally do this on a Saturday, but we got a lot going on. Again, it looks like volume is ticking down a bit, but we still do have some selling going on. So we'll see whether we can hold here. Bitcoin down to 63.6 now. We can look at some other cryptos if you guys want. I think, Ryan, I think next week should be good trading. And Monday might be bad because of what's happening on the stock market. If the stock market is reacting negatively and we're having a red stock market day on Monday, crypto probably won't be that green. But we don't know what's happening with these the Bitcoin and ETH spot ETFs in Hong Kong. Are they going to start trading on Monday, or are they just going to get approved on Monday to start trading on another day? We'll be watching that because that could be really bullish for crypto. And then you have the rest of the week leading up into the Bitcoin halving. I've always said I've been targeting this coming week as being green, being a good trading week into the halving. So yeah, I'm excited, looking forward to it. I'm also on vacation for the week, but I'll be doing videos from my remote location. Just won't be live. And what happens on Doge Day? That'll be my next live stream. We'll be on Doge Day on Saturday, a week from now. I'll be live. And we'll see what's been going on Doge Day. Doge is either going to be up a lot or down a lot. It's going to be one or the other. Sergio was up 40,000 in profit. Now the profit is 8, but didn't sell, holding for the big run. Did not panic sell. Cheers to you. I know, it hurts though. It's not pretty. Prakash thinks our 14.3 support is going to break down. Head and shoulder CDM? On what scale? This is a 15-minute. You really can't trade on a 15-minute. Got a 4-hour chart. Yeah, not really much. This is just Friday selling and then Saturday selling. Not pretty. Go to the daily. Again, on the daily, it's looking a lot like Bitcoin's, right? Except this is more of a big M here, right? Kind of a little bit of a lopsided M. That's what we've seen. That daily chart doesn't look great for Dogecoin right now. Not a good looking chart. Yeah, Thomas, that's what we're waiting for right now is we're watching the news and seeing if we're going to see another dip here. Right now, it just seems to be a lot of posturing by the politicians going on tonight. And we're waiting to get news on any casualties or anything else that was hit in Israel. Burns asks, what happens to Doge after the halving? Well, that's going to be interesting. The latest news I heard on Bitcoin is that they've upped their price of where they think the Bitcoin price would need to be for miners to be profitable mining Bitcoin after the halving. And it's like 80K. It was 40K pre-halving. And that's the number that I said yesterday. And I thought that was the post-halving number, but it's not. That 40K was from earlier in the year, and that was the price that Bitcoin needed to be for miners to be profitable mining Bitcoin. But that was pre-halving. So post-halving, it's 80,000. So Bitcoin's going to go into the halving, at around 64K. That means for some period of time, the miners will be losing money. And how long can they lose money before they stop mining Bitcoin? Because they need Bitcoin to be 80,000. That's on an average. There might be some miners that are more streamlined, maybe have less overhead and can afford to mine 60K or 70K Bitcoin and be profitable. But on average, that 80 is what's needed in order to be profitable. So you could see some selling by Bitcoin miners getting out of the mining business, and they're selling Bitcoin. That could happen. So that's why I think in previous post-halving cycles, we've seen a few weeks of selling of Bitcoin, and Bitcoin didn't turn around and take off back into a bull run until after that selling happened. And that's happened the past two cycles, and I showed that on some graphs over the past few days. So that's what we're looking at. Subway just sold some Doge, put it into AI gaming coins. Good luck. Good luck. Hey, I want everybody to make money in crypto, so that doesn't bother me. It's been 2 weeks of downish trends. How long do you think until we go up? Would it be months or weeks to recover? Yeah, so again, we're going to see what happens post-halving. I think it's going to be months and not weeks. I think the coming weeks are going to be a challenge in crypto. Again, I think this Hong Kong thing about ETFs is a wild card, though. Didn't see that coming. And that could be, that could be some juicy trading for Bitcoin and Ethereum. And if Bitcoin and Ethereum are going up, most likely the rest of the crypto market's going up too. Depends on what the demand is for these ETFs in Asia and who's trading in Hong Kong. That could be huge. That and buy the rumor, sell the news, like we typically see of a big event, let's say, like not only the Bitcoin halving, but Doge Day coming up. So through Friday, we could see good trading in the crypto market. That's kind of what I'm expecting. But then come Saturday, we could see some reversals happening. That's kind of what I'm looking at in the short term. So Nigel says, I have wallets with Doge less than a cent. Doge I bought on markets is where I focus on average. Okay, so you've got some older, cheaper Doge tucked away. All right. I do too. Mine's 2-cent Doge, though. That's the cheapest I bought Dogecoin was 2 cents. Where's the cat? Cat Pax is, I have the door closed. I have the door closed during live streams. So the cat does not come in here. Bulldozer says, we're going to make it, fam, hold. The dancing Doge. Yeah, he shows up every now and then. That's what's so great about TradingView. Are we worried about World War III? Yeah, well, there's fear there's fear, yes. Whether it actually becomes a wider thing, that's what the worry is. That's what the fear is. That this could grow into something bigger. And there was just a report that a number of them have hit, but all focused on an airbase. And we just watched a video. We just saw this video of something hitting. So I don't know what that is. But that was showing something hitting right there. So I don't know. But that looks like a hit. Rosian says that's in Negev. A 10-year-old Palestinian kid got injured. Could be. IRGC commander to press TV. If Israel attacks again, it will receive bigger response. Yeah, that's what we're seeing. UN Security Council plans to meet on Sunday. What are Iran and Israel's next moves? The US was intercepting Iranian drones. So US defense officials have confirmed US successfully intercepted Iranian drones aimed at Israel. I wonder if that will prompt Iran to be mad at the United States. Yeah, and I know, Daryl. Everybody's in the red. Everyone's in the red. Yeah, Bull's Noggle. Who's this guy? Don't know who GCR is. U.S. Embassy in Jerusalem issues security alert. Yeah, so stuff is happening. Doge found support at 14.2. Yeah, 14.2, 14.3. That's support line. So we're still watching that. Yeah, I know. Robinhood can't handle the amount of users they have. That's true. But they had a lot of time to figure that out from the last time they got overrun by trades. Do you think it's a good time to buy Dogecoin or should you wait? That's a decision you can make. I'm not a financial advisor. I can't tell you what to do. And I don't know what the price is going to do from here. Again, this set of these 2 days of drops, Fridays and Saturdays, was not expected, but happened. And from an overall view of the markets, I mean, there was a lot of buying happening up here above 17 cents. And now we've got 14, 15 cent Dogecoin. That seems like a good price to me. Will it go lower? It might. We don't know. But that's what we're watching. And that's what we're keeping an eye on the news for, to see what happens here. Yeah, Crypto Joe's been DCAing since 69, bought his first Doge up at 69 cents back in 2021, has continued to DCA, got his average all the way down to 17 cents, of which you were in the green for a couple weeks. But it'll be back. Zach wants to know how to become a member. So on a PC or on an Android phone, from what I'm told, but not on an iPhone, because iPhone isn't enabled for the join, you go to my YouTube page and you hit the join button. That's right there. I also have a link in the description below, and you can just click on that link. That will take you right to the join as well. And that's how you get there. Is a halving like stock splitting? It's like it's more like a reverse stock split, because they're decreasing the number of shares that are coming out into the market, is what it is. So it's kind of the opposite. When you do a stock split, you're normally, is that right? Yeah, when you do a stock split, I guess that is less shares. Let me think. No, it's more shares at a lower price. That's what it is. It's the reverse stock split, when they bring the price up and they cut the number of shares. That's what it's like. You're basically cutting the inflation in half, because Bitcoin is inflationary up to a cap of 21 million, because those are the rewards that are given to the miners. So that's the inflation of Bitcoin. And then that inflation is going to be cut in half on Saturday. So that's why that's bullish for traders, because you're cutting that inflation in half. Sergio reminds everyone to hit the like button. Thank you. I don't follow Doge 20 because it's not a real cryptocurrency. It's a token. It has nothing to do with Dogecoin. That's all I'll say about that. Charles, what's up? Hanging out on a Saturday night, seeing what's happening. I was going to follow the markets anyway in the news, and thought I would just share it with you guys. I know there's some fear in the market of what's going on. Thought I would hang out. Might buy more on the dip. We're still early. Blue Horseshoes in the house. Welcome. Good morning to you. Hope you're having a nice coffee. Good chance that it was our drones, what drones that we gave to Iran. And now they're sending them toward Israel. Or our money. Tax day is coming up. They don't want people to sell crypto for a profit to pay their taxes. Interesting. Yeah, those that are waiting right until the last day to pay taxes if you owe. Could be some of that. Yeah, the old Robinhood special. It's like a COVID crash sequel. Yeah, this is nothing like a COVID crash. We talked about this earlier. Nowhere near. COVID crash was over a 50% dump. And this is nowhere near that. Dedication, Flying Tiger says. Hey, Frankie. See if we can see 10 or 12 cent Doge this week. Ooh, I don't know. I don't know if it's going to go that low. It's hard not to be salty when your 500 buys you 19,000 tokens of one. But then a dip proves you could have made 2.5 times that. Yeah. Well, you make the best decisions you can at the time, right? Like I bought at 17.5 cents. I thought that was a good price when it did that dip there. That's where I bought, right there. I'm confident Doge will be well above 17.5 cents in the not too distant future. So I'm not worried about it. The fib from past cycles, Swing Low asks. I usually don't do my fibs out that far for past cycles. You go to the weekly chart and you go all the way back here, and yeah, I don't really look at that. It's tough to do, to extend all that across, because I don't think it really, I don't think stuff from like 4 years ago really applies today that much. I really don't. The trading is more immediate and what's going on, in my opinion. I know there's a lot of people who really look back. And the one thing I do look back at is this 35-cent line here from late 2021. And that was my target, this 35-cent line. Once we get over that, it could be some clear sailing above. But that's about all I look at on Doge on the big time frames. So the news: Israel-Iran war fears suddenly spark $500 billion of liquidations that we've had. Crypto price crash, ETH, BNB, XRP, Solana, Doge, all getting hit, and just about everything else. Bitcoin has fallen sharply after Israel's military said Iran had fired dozens of drones toward it. That was the fear, was that statement, and that's why we had the dump. 2 hours later, we get the actual, results of that. Bitcoin price dropped. The Bitcoin price crash dragged down the wider crypto market, hitting top 10 coins: Ethereum, BNB, XRP, Solana, Doge, wiping $500 billion from the combined crypto market. And that was in the liquidations that we looked at earlier. Let me refresh this, get up to date on our liquidations. Just in the last hour, we actually have people who were shorting Bitcoin and got squeezed out by this move that Bitcoin did, coming up over 65K. And that squeezed out, look at that squeezed out about almost 1.5 million of shorts on Bitcoin with that move. Wow. What are people doing? So somebody down here at like 62K, I mean, they were opening up these big short positions with a 65K liquidation number, and Bitcoin went up over 65K. Squeezed out those shorts, liquidated them. God. Like I said, those exchanges, they know what you're doing. They see your numbers. Liquidations. And whiff, like who's someone on Binance just lost $2,400 on a whiff short. Shorting whiff. So yeah, they can liquidate on the longs, but also the shorts too. Also the shorts. Talk about liquidating your shorts. Well, it's the guy who did the 3X on Pepe and lost $1 million. That was a 3X long on Pepe. It's like, what are you doing, man? He said it was like 100% of his portfolio. He put it all into that. God. That's not smart. Yeah, brutal. That's the word. That's brutal. Big time brutal. Let's see what's going on with the flights here we were looking at. Still have nothing happening in this area. What's that plane? Doha to Madrid. Seems to be stuck over Lebanon. Istanbul to Kuwait City. Yeah, that one looks like that one was headed south and then decided to fly right over Israel and Jordan. It just took a left turn and said, I'm just going. Look at that. A Boeing 777. That's interesting. They're going to save 3 hours on their flight by taking this left-hand turn. It was going to arrive at 5:42 a.m. Now it's going to arrive at 2:43. So they originally were going to fly around this area, but now they decided we're just going to turn left and we're going to fly straight across. Look at that. And save 3 hours on their flight. But yeah, there's not much flying going on around Iraq. Not much going on. Look at all that traffic routing around this area. What's a good coin to buy? Splens asks. Big sale on Sui right now. Big sale. Where's the Sui coin? Gotta type that one in. If I had some available cash, this is what I would be buying right now, is Sui. Could have had it for under $1 here. Wow. Let's look at the daily. Yeah, so Sui went on this big run here last fall. Look at this. That is just a great buying opportunity for Sui. You're going to be hearing a lot about the Sui blockchain coming up this year. So I don't usually talk about other coins that much, not with as much confidence as this. I bought it up here on this dip, thinking that was a good price. but it's dropped even lower. So if you're looking, if I had cash, that's what I would be buying. And more Doge, of course. Always more Doge. But I do have a diversified portfolio, and I do believe in supporting other cryptos, particularly ones that have really good blockchains and are growing and have potential to do very well. Doge, yes, Doge. Yep, should have just traded spot with something like Pepe, especially. Just buy it and hold. You're going to leverage trade Pepe, really? World War III brewing can't keep us from the moon. Still a bull market. 23, 25, 35. And it's up from there. So Justin asks, if your average is higher than the current price, today is a good day for averaging down. If your average is higher than the current price, today is a good day for averaging down. Yes, it is. And for those afraid to average up, like I said, what are you waiting for? What are you going to use with that money otherwise? Bringing your average down eventually pays off. Johnny says, not that I'm planning selling any of my Dogecoins anytime soon because my average cost is so high, but when somebody does decide to sell on Robinhood, how long does it take to actually hit your bank? So I don't know because I've never taken money off of Robinhood. I've only put money in. I haven't gotten to that point yet where I've sold for US dollars on Robinhood and then withdrew the money to my bank account. So I don't know. Never done it. Can ask Google. What does Google say? How long until you get your money in your bank from Robinhood? Transfers will take 3 to 5 business days. That's directly from Robinhood. That's probably not the answer you wanted. 3 to 5 business days. So there you go. Just ask Google. If Kriss can't answer your question, Google can. Google can answer. Let's see what's going on in the news. Oh, speaking of deadlines coming up, for those looking for a hardware wallet, you have just this week left for this a big Ledger halving offer, of which if you want a Ledger and NOS Plus, like I have here, you want to get one of these, $79. You do have to pay a shipping cost. But you get $20 free Bitcoin. And the way that works is they send you this nice box here. This was my box here for my Ledger. And then there's a card in there. And that card will give you the link to use to input your Bitcoin wallet address, and they'll send you Bitcoin. And I got $20 of Bitcoin back when Bitcoin was at $17,000. That was the price of Bitcoin when I bought this. And Bitcoin has done a 4x since then. So that Bitcoin is now worth $80, which was the price of the Ledger Nano S Plus. So it's like getting this for free. Almost. Bitcoin's gone down a little since then. So it's not quite a 4x on the Bitcoin. But if you're thinking of a hardware wallet, this is the one I recommend. The X is twice expensive. It does have more storage space on it, so you can have more coins, more different coins on it. I don't know what the limit is on Nano S Plus, how many different coins you can have, because that's what the determination is, not how many. It's in quantity, it's how many different ones. But they've got Bluetooth and other stuff that you don't need. You don't need Bluetooth on a hardware wallet. You plug it in, you do your business, and then you unplug it. That's what you do. And then this one with the recover, you don't need the recover. You don't want the recover. Just get your seed phrase, write it down, and keep track of it. You don't want Ledger having your seed phrase for you. And you have to pay like a $10 a month monthly fee for that service. You don't need that. Ledger Nano Duo. You can buy 2 ledgers, one S and one X. And I don't know what this CryptoTab is. But anyway, that is, I have a link in the description below if you want to check out a good deal on a hardware wallet. This is the one I use. Ledger Nano S Plus. It's a very cool thing. It's the least expensive one, and it's the one that I use. I recommend. You don't need this, in my opinion. But yeah, there's a deal going on just for this week. Get some free Bitcoin. And actually today you would get more Bitcoin than you would if you had gotten this thing on Thursday, because the price of Bitcoin has gone down. Bitcoin just back over 64K right now. And Doge is going back up over 15 cents. Role plays. Honestly, I'm bullish on Doge. This just gives us time to get more. Bitcoin will go up to the halving, and X payments is coming. We know when Doge starts running, yes, it will be epic. So we're just waiting for that. Tedward, hi. We were at a great place. I think I had a schedule without any Doge specific catalyst. Just continue to hold. You know, it's 15-cent Dogecoin. I mean, it was 8 cents just in February. 2 months later, we're at 15 cents. That's still pretty good. Yeah, we saw 19 cents and 20 cents. And that was really cool. We were all excited. This pullback was not unexpected. Again, for the past 3 months, I've been talking about look for pullbacks. I've been showing you guys on the charts in the previous cycles where we had 20, 30% pullbacks in Bitcoin. Bitcoin didn't pull back that much this time. So it's been worse previous cycles, these kind of pullbacks during bull run, during bull markets. So yeah. Justin says, average up with extreme caution. I like to treat dip purchases as swing trades if I already have a main bag with a favorable average. Yep, that's how you do it. And you can trade that way. I don't worry about my average cost. Like I bought 17.5-cent Doge, and I'm keeping that Doge for at least a year, if not more. Again, I don't want to sell it and then have to pay a short-term capital gains tax here in the United States. I'd rather hold it for at least a year. This is my most recent Doge that I bought at 17.5 cents. So that Doge is probably going to be in my possession for years and years and years, because I'm not selling all of my Dogecoin in 2025. I'm always going to have Doge. I will sell a big chunk of it and take some profits this time. But that 17.5-cent Dogecoin, yeah, I'm not selling that. When do I think Doge is going to get out of this dip? Well, that's why we're watching the news, seeing what's going on. See if there's some good news that will pop us back up over 17 cents. That's what I'm waiting to see. But if that doesn't happen and there's still fears and worries and the UN Security Council is going to blah, blah, blah this, and there's going to be some rhetoric between Iran and Israel that's just going to continue this thing going on, then we're not going to see a quick recovery. So Charles says, I've cashed out of Robinhood a few times. You always have to pay a small fee. You get the money in your bank in minutes. Really? Well, that's not what Google said. Google says it takes 3 to 5 business days. Well, we'll see. I'll be doing it in 2025. Flying Tiger says, we're bouncing. Yeah, we are. Up over 15 cents. This might be new for Robinhood. Maybe set alert at $1 and walk away. Well, Meng, again, 2021, we all thought Dogecoin was going to $1. I held my Doge from 2 cents all the way up to 74 cents and all the way back down to 5 cents. I did not sell in 2021 because I thought Doge was going to $1. So if you have that thinking again, this bull cycle, I'm not holding all of my Dogecoin through another bear market. If the 4-year cycle plays out and 2026 is a bear year, I'm going to be taking some profits this time. And it won't be at $1. It'll be something less. So 35, 40 cent range, I'm probably going to take a little off the table. And then we'll see where Doge goes from there. But I'm taking some profits this time. 2025 doesn't look good. I don't think it will be bullish. That's what Just Jonesing says. I don't think it'll be bullish. Well, let me go to this. And this is, again, this is just my thinking of where I am in looking at the 4-year cycles. And this is a thank you to Rob at Digital Asset News. And we look at this. And this is just, these are the 4, and not that the past is an indicator of exactly what's going to happen in the future, but when something's happened 3 times in a row, I kind of think the 4th time it's going to happen again. So Rob uses this little half a Bitcoin to indicate which year is the halving year. 2012, halving year. 2013, Bitcoin hit an all-time high. It was its highest in the cycle. Then we had a dip in 2014 and then a reset year in 2015. 2016, Bitcoin halving year. 2017, Bitcoin trades up, new all-time high for that cycle. 2018 was the dip, 2019 reset, 2020, Bitcoin halving. Well, Bitcoin hits its all-time high for that cycle in 2021. Actually had a double top, early 64K and then November 69K. And then what did we see in 2022? We just lived it, right? Bear market dip. 2023 was a reset year. Good trading for Bitcoin, not great for a lot of altcoins until the end of the year. And now here we are in 2024, Bitcoin halving year. So what does that mean for 2025? Well, 3 times in a row, Bitcoin hit its all-time high for that cycle, not in the year of the halving, but the year after the halving. So I'm a believer in patterns, and I say Bitcoin is going to hit its new all-time high for this cycle in 2025. Yes, we've already had a new all-time high in 2024, but it's going to go higher. Most likely in 2025, which is the year after the halving, of which 3 cycles in a row we had the all-time high for the cycle the year after the halving. So this would be 2025, this cycle. That's what I'm looking at. Regardless of what the news is, I'm still trading on the cycle. And so I'm holding. 2026, I think, is going to be the barrier. That's why I'm trading. I'm trading this way. But that's just me. That's just me. Get that back over there, out of the way. Would this pullback negate a halving 420 pullback? Nope, it won't. In fact, I think we're actually going to trade up during the week, and then we're going to dip again Friday night, Saturday morning, something like that. That would be my guess right now. But then sometimes it does the opposite. So Frankie asks, when you timestamp your purchase transfer history, is there anything important besides date, time, amount traded worth adding on Excel? So here's what I show in mine. I don't do time. I do the date. Like here's my last one. This is on the Kriss DCA portfolio. October 9th, 2023, Dogecoin, 14,190. That's number of coins, 14,190 at an average price of 0.05885 for a total dollar amount of $835. That's what I show on that. That's all I put on my spreadsheet is that information right there. You don't need to timestamp it to like the time of day or anything. You just do it by the date. And even if you've got multiple in a day, like on 9/24, I bought 4 times because the price kept going down from 6.1 down to 6.08 down to 6.05. So I bought more. Those were those 4 trades on 9/24. But then on October 9th, when Doge was dipping down at 5.8, it's like I didn't spread it out into a bunch of little buys. I just did one big one at 5.8 cents. So with the spreadsheet, I have this set up where I have my whole average set up. So my total number of Doge is 75,000. Again, this is for this Kriss DCA portfolio. I have another spreadsheet, which is my own personal portfolio. But this is this one, this 75,000 Dogecoin that you see right there. That is this right here, 75,000 Dogecoin at an average of 0.06176. I spent $4,654. And what's the price of Dogecoin right now? Let's say it's 15 cents. So I can just go 0.15, right? And it'll say just on that Dogecoin, that 4,600 is now worth 11,000. It's up 142% for a profit of 6,650 for the total portfolio. That's what my spreadsheet shows. I have all that set up to do that math. So that's what I do. And when I start selling, you start at the top. But again, I'm not selling this Dogecoin. I'm transferring to you guys. These other coins I'm selling, like this Bitcoin here, this Jasmine, be selling that, taking that profit. At the top of the bull market, of course. Whenever that is. Be waiting for that. We'll be waiting for that. Blue Horseshoe just hit his DCA for the morning, 15.18 cent Doge for your DCA. Francisco, for once I didn't buy any Doge on this dip, bought a few thousand worth of SHIB. What did SHIB drop down to? It was down here below 20, 18.3. But now back up above 21. So that's decent for SHIB. But yeah, still big drop from where SHIB was up here at 30. This is my red line here. That was my support line. Broke that on April 1st and hasn't recovered back to that line since for SHIB. And of course, we had Friday's dump and then today's dump. So yeah, buying SHIB underneath 20, that's a pretty good price. And SHIB, eventually it's going to go on a big run. Maybe this fall will be the huge run in SHIB. It's going to happen. So probably not a bad purchase. Oh, SP Narwhal says for Robinhood, 3 to 5 business days is free, but you can do an instant transfer if you pay a fee. Well, that makes sense. I mean, does it really cost them money? I don't think so. But banks are banks, and they're going to make money where they can. And Robinhood is a bank. Let's face it. Oh, low roller, you're back. Did you take a break, or were you just hanging in the shadows? I've been Dogecoin under 1 cent, ride it up to 75. Stronger diamond hands. The shortened cycle is starting to be a meme. I think that's just because of those spot ETFs. We still have an election cycle in the United States, and those 4-year cycles still follow that. And that election is until November of this year. And then particularly if the other side wins, they don't take office till January. So that's what leads us into 2025. That's how the markets have done before in the bull markets. So I'm still trading that, even though Bitcoin for its first time hit a new all-time high before the halving. But again, that was just on the backs of those spot ETFs, I think, and all of that buying that happened. I think that's probably going to settle down, even out for a while. And then it's going to be the retail traders that are going to come back in, particularly when Bitcoin reaches 100K, because it's going to be all over the news. $100,000 Bitcoin is going to be all over the news. And when that happens, you're going to get a lot of people buying. It's the same thing with Dogecoin for $1. People aren't going to buy Dogecoin for 15 cents. But a lot of people are going to buy Dogecoin at $1 because that's going to be in the news and it's going to be everywhere. That's just the way it is. Outside of our crypto bubble that we have here, there's not a lot of talk going on about cryptocurrency. There really isn't. Most of the world is totally oblivious to this, which is why I still think we're so early. But yeah, if Dogecoin goes to $1, it's going to be on the news. It's going to be everywhere. And we're going to see the craziness that we saw back in 2021. That's going to be back. Craziness. So Burns is asking about me selling my Dogecoin. And I'm not going to sell all of my Dogecoin ever. And how much I sell for profit, I don't know yet. Maybe half. Maybe I'll sell half for profit and keep the other half. I'm going to take my first Doge off the table when Doge is over 35 cents. And then we'll see from there. I haven't decided yet. See what's going on. Yep, it's depressing now. Be good time to dollar cost average. It's tough to see all these red candles. Absolutely. That's tough to see. We were just enjoying 19, 20 cent Dogecoin. And now here we are at 14.8. Flow Finder is going to DCA a few more bucks in. What percent huge run in SHIB? Samuels asks. I think SHIB will actually drop another zero. It'll hit an all-time high. And from 20 cents now, that would be or 20.00002. That's a 5x from here. I think SHIB will do that. A 5x from here. That's my target. I may sell my SHIB before that happens, though. My average price of my SHIB is 10. So once SHIB starts getting up to 70 or 80, I may sell it there. And I'll just book that profit. The SHIB I have is all for profit. I'm not holding SHIB long term. Louise says that Israel took down most, if not all, drones, missiles. Hope no more attacks. We need peace. Doge crypto will be just fine. Looks like we've got some evidence that some hit, and still waiting for confirmation on any damage. But it really, and from what I understand, it wasn't just Israel that was up there intercepting those drones and missiles, but it was also the United States and the UK had planes up there intercepting. So it was a group effort. It was a team effort. Dogecoin gigawallets, absolutely. Particularly for Shopify adoption, that gigawallet is going to be huge. And if it truly is like I was connecting all of the pieces between X and X payments and Shopify and eToro and Dogecoin gigawallet, you put all of that together, and then you have a really strong case for Dogecoin being used as currency on the X platform. And the gigawallet is a main key part of that because that can integrate directly into Shopify. Shopify already has a deal with X. And then with eToro already having a deal with X, that's where you can get your Dogecoin. I mean, it's all set up. It's just going to take a little while to implement. But that's what I see happening. That's why I'm so bullish on Doge. It's a lot because of that. So Tedward asks, how are we doing? There was just a state approval yesterday that I saw. Elon said he would have all states approved by the summer. He said that back in January. Haven't heard anything else since then. Yeah, 2021 was crazy for Doge. Crazy. Louise got some more Doge today. Yes, Louise. Israel with US and UK help. If SHIB is all for profit, are you reckoning it has no future? No, what I'm reckoning is that except for Doge and Bitcoin, I am selling the rest of my portfolio to book profits because I'm not going to hold everything through 2026, which according to the 4-year cycles would be the next bear market. Then come 2027, I'll take a look at what I want to buy for cryptos. Maybe it's some more SHIB. Maybe I'll buy back into sheep. I don't know yet. I don't know what I'm going to be into. But the rest of my crypto, I am selling in 2025. And I'm selling all of it. I'm not going to be holding sheep through 2026. I'm not going to be holding Jasmy. I'll book the Jasmy profits when I think it's time. And then 2027, we'll see what's going on, and I'll think about buying back in. But in the meantime, I'm going to use that money for real estate. That's my plan. That's my plan. Because I want to do some things, and I'm booking on these big crypto profits to do what I want to do. And I'll share it all with you guys, and I'll show you what I'm doing. Right now, it's a plan. Hope it works out. It's a big plan, but I have confidence in the crypto market, getting a lot better returns even after these 2 days of dips than I would ever get in the stock market or anything else. Crypto far outguns anything else you can put your investment money into. Far outweighs everything. So that's why I went all in crypto. Now I've got a 401k plan. I mean, I'm safe, right? It's not like I sold everything and put everything into crypto, like that guy I was talking about yesterday who did this 3x leveraged long on Pepe, $1 million, and it was like all the money he had. It's like, oh, that was dumb. No, I've got a big 401k plan that's invested in Vanguard and Russell, and there's a lot of money in that, so I'm good. This is other money. This is all my other investment money, just about. I still have some Tesla stock, some Apple stock, a few other small cap stocks, some AMC stock still. Why, I don't know. Should have sold it all, but a lot of crypto. But I'm selling almost all of it, except for the Doge, and I'll keep some Doge and I'll keep some Bitcoin. I won't sell all of that. You don't know what's going to happen. Maybe it's a super cycle, right? And we don't see a big bear market in 2026. Who knows? But right now, the 4-year cycle that I just showed you points to me that 2026 would be a bear market year, and I am not holding for that. That's my plan. Safe Moon, Frankie. Yeah. Safe Moon had bigger problems than bankruptcy. Like the leader going to jail. Other guys are probably going to be rounded up too. They're going to get them all. Am I going to announce or go live when you sell? Yeah, I'll let you guys know when I'm selling. Typically, when I sell, though, I don't sell it all at once because I don't do that. I do layers, right? I layer out because I try and hit the top of the bull market. I'll never know the exact top of the bull market. I won't be able to be that lucky to time it. So when I think it's getting close, I'll take a chunk out. If the price still goes up higher, then I'll take another chunk out. That's my plan. That's how I'm planning to do it. And maybe some of that chunk will be the absolute top of the bull market. I will buy Doge at 12 cents with my 12,000 profit plus 30K. Oh, yeah, right now, jeez. Is Doge going to get down to 12 cents? I mean, it got close here earlier today. 13.07. That's not 12 cents. It's close to 12.99 though, if that's what you mean. If the 12 is the first, that was pretty close. And now we're hanging at 14.8, and the charts aren't looking like this is going to be rocketing up anytime soon. So thanks, Flying Tiger. Good luck to you too. JS says Doge will survive. Yes, it will. Doge has been around for over 10 years. It's not going anywhere. Some people saying, oh, Doge's going to drop back down to 4 cents or 2 cents or 1. No, it's not. It's not. You can ask questions, Frankie. It's okay. I promise. Even if a project seems promising and passionate, do multi-trillion, quadrillion total supplies turn you off more than others, even with a good burn rate? Especially with a good burn rate. If you're relying on burning tokens to be the reason why your cryptocurrency is going to go up in price, then you got problems, and I'm not buying you. Show me what the utility is. Show me what that thing is actually going to be used for. And then I'll consider buying it. But if all you got is a quadrillion tokens and we're going to burn X amount every week or every month or whatever, not interested. Not interested. But that's me. Yeah, Louise. Fiat overall will keep losing value. So our cryptos will go up, plus all the positives of using Doge as currency, for all those reasons. Do you believe that what if Doge hits previous all-time high before May? I don't see Doge trading up to 74 cents before May this year. I don't see it. No. But what if? Hey, that'd be a beautiful thing. If Doge Day, this, next Saturday is awesome and Doge is trading up and we're all like going crazy and Doge goes up to 74 cents, it'll be a good celebration. That'll be a good celebration. The chances of that, pretty small. There's so many heavy resistance lines for Doge to get through. And there's going to be profit taking, there's going to be shorting. You're going to have all of that going on. That's going to be hard for Doge to rocket up that fast. So yeah, I don't see that happening. BTC, sell or buy. So I wouldn't be selling Bitcoin here. Buying Bitcoin at 63,000. There are some people who just DCA Bitcoin every week at whatever the price is because they're sure that Bitcoin is going up to 100,000 or 200,000 or whatever. So sure, buy. But there was a lot of selling going on when Bitcoin passed its previous all-time high and went over 70,000. That's why Bitcoin couldn't stay up there, at like 71, 72. There was a lot of momentum there and a lot of new buyers coming in at that price. But then you had a lot of people who just started profit taking. New Bitcoin all-time high, time to sell. So Bitcoin couldn't sustain that at this point, that $72,000 price. So it settled back in at 69K, and we saw that trading over here. That's all this trading here. It actually came down to this sort of 67, 68 range before the big dip Friday and Saturday. So yeah. There are so many who believe Bitcoin's going to like 200, 250,000, 200,000. That's my prediction for Bitcoin in 2025. So, that's, or 250,000. That's 4 times the price as it is now. So yeah, now would be a good time to buy, particularly since just a few days ago, Bitcoin was up over 70,000. Now it's at 63. But there's still fear in the market of what's going on with possible war and all that. That's keeping Bitcoin suppressed. There's a lot of people shorting Bitcoin right now. We just saw the leveraged traders and the ones that are getting burnt. So yeah. Yeah, we'll see. You're changing your price target for Doge to $4 from $1 or $2. We've shown $4 Dogecoin is not that unrealistic. It still wouldn't be larger than Bitcoin. Doge at $4. So if you've got the adoption of Doge like we think is going to happen, could be. Yeah, I mean, bullish old pal. Pump up the market and then dump. I mean, this really wasn't that orchestrated. This was on the backs of this war news. So I think Friday's was more orchestrated than today's. But a lot of this is just on the news. Everything's okay, Joseph says. Long-term peoples. Yeah, I mean, Benzinga mentions 2028 Doge. Nobody knows. In 2050, Dogecoin is going to be $169. Those are people who are just looking for something to write an article on that'll get clicks so they can sell advertising. That's all that is. Nobody knows. Some crazy numbers there, that's for sure. I know, Frankie, but that's the thing. Just people making these tokens right and left that don't do anything. So they make it easy. They do a pre-sale. But what does it do? That's what I look for. What does it actually do? Yeah, Joseph asked the right thing. The real thing is who's doing the selling. So like we said earlier, a lot of this was panic selling by retail traders. That's what we saw today. It's like news of war, price going down, panic selling. We also had a lot of traders doing the same thing, selling because they want to swing trade and buy in at a lower price, or they're shorting. So that's how you can get these big red candles going down. And this was on Bitcoin. Big red candles going down. I don't think it's a coincidence that Bitcoin traded back up just over 65,000 late this afternoon. Because as we saw on the liquidations chart, there were huge short squeezes that happened. Shorters who got liquidated right at $65,000 for the price when they got liquidated. We looked at it here on the 1 million, and we saw these BTCs that got liquidated. So I don't think it's coincidence that Bitcoin went up to 65,559 and wiped out $1.77 million short. Not a coincidence at all. So, because they know what your price is and where the price needs to go to get liquidated. I mean, look at this. Look at this wick right up here. That wick went right up. Oops, wrong one. That wick went right up to that price to liquidate $1.77 million short trade. It's not a coincidence, guys. That's exactly the top of that wick right there. So retail traders don't have a chance. That's why the best you can do is buy and hold. if you're trading this, every once in a while, you're going to hit it big and you're going to think, wow, I'm great. And then you're going to lose it. It happens again and again and again. Buy Tesla. Tesla's been kind of choppy lately. What's about $170 now for Tesla? It was $240 not too long ago for Tesla. That was back in December. I bought my Tesla at about 110, 112, right in that range a year before. That's my average price on Tesla. I had it a couple years earlier, but had sold it for a profit, but then bought back in when it dipped down to like 110. That's when I bought back into Tesla. People who buy the EFTs aren't traders. They are long-term holders. So everything is even. It's not we are higher than we should be because of them. Well, it's just because there was a lot of them, Joseph. That's what I think. I think there were a lot of people, a lot of wealthy people who were sitting there with a lot of money with BlackRock and Fidelity that either knew these ETFs were coming or their broker called them and said, hey, do you want any of this Bitcoin? Because they've never been exposed to it before. They're so wealthy, they don't want to like deal with signing up for Coinbase and buying crypto. They're used to just dealing with brokers. So now, with their broker, they can say, get me some of that Bitcoin. And the broker goes and buys their ETF. And BlackRock manages billions and billions and billions of dollars for these wealthy individuals. That was what those spot ETFs did. Is that retail traders? Well, they're wealthy individuals who aren't trading. They're not traders. They're going to buy it. Most likely, most of them are going to hold. But we did see last week actually sales of ETFs. And we saw outflows from BlackRock and Fidelity. So there were more sellers than buyers last week. So even in ETFs, people were taking profits. So there are some traders there in those ETFs too, but I think a majority of them are going to be long-term hodlers who didn't have an opportunity to have some Bitcoin before. And maybe Bitcoin's only like 5% of their overall portfolio. You know, and they've got millions and millions of dollars tied up in, you know, the big stock mutual funds or ETFs. So now they have a little Bitcoin, but a little Bitcoin to them is a lot of money for us retail traders. They just happen to be wealthy. Yeah, we're seeing red candles here, guys. Bitcoin is going to come down and re-challenge 63. Doge 1479. So not a lot of positivity in the market right now. Not seeing it. It's going to be a fun year, Joseph. I think this whole year is going to be very interesting for crypto. There's so many good things coming, particularly on the Doge front. I'm really optimistic. So Pedro asks, should I buy Doge at 15 cents? You guys tell him. What do you guys think? Should Pedro buy Doge at 15 cents? It's 14.79 now. You guys tell Pedro what you think. 14.78, going down. Yeah. You had traders, you had new investors panic selling. Blood on the streets. So, yep, you had a lot of selling going on. JS says, wish I had more money. Me too. Me too. I wish I had more money. I already spent my April money at 17.5 cents up here. Damn. Louise says it's at a discount today. Buy for the long run. Taxes won't hit you as hard. That's my philosophy too. Buy and hold for at least a year. So any Dogecoin I buy from this point on, that's the Dogecoin I'm holding long term. It's the Dogecoin that I bought a long time ago that I'll be selling for profit. Hey, Bull Run's in the house. What's up? We are talking war. Just seeing what's going on with Israel and Iran, and seeing if we're going to see something that's going to pop up that's going to affect the markets. Oh, Grimes is coming up on Coachella. Grimes is going to be live at Coachella. How about that? I wish we could stream that live. See what Grimes is up to. Oh, I guess there she is. She's performing. There she is. Live at Coachella. Last cycle, Benjamin Cohen says, last cycle we saw the ETH BTC bottom just after the first rate cut. Before the first rate cut, ETH BTC broke support, dropped for 2 months straight, and then bottomed. Timing of ETH BTC bottom might be this summer. Yeah, he still thinks that ETH is going to dump more versus Bitcoin. He's been more right than wrong. Except he had too much cash on the sideline waiting for Bitcoin price to go down, which it didn't in 2023. And he missed out on all of that 16, 17K Bitcoin. He missed out on all of that. Blinken says Iran has always funded terrorism. About 60 Iranian drones from the previous wave are expected to arrive within half an hour. So there's more drones. There's more drones. So, yep, as Daryl says, we're still down. A wise man once said, if there's a dip, buy the dip. Elon Musk. If there's a dip, buy the dip. ADA BTC. I don't even want to talk about Cardano versus BTC. That's so bad. Bum, bum, bum. I guess that's the latest news. There's more drones still headed toward Israel from Iran. Jasmine looking great, though. JD's been covering Jasmine. Already profit taking on Jasmine, and I'm like, no, not yet. Not yet. Too soon. Too soon. Because Jasmine's going to go crazy. America's concerned about rapid Israeli response. There's a concern in Washington about a rapid Israeli response to the Iran attack without thinking about the repercussions. So that's what's going on. And we're seeing a little more red happening here this past hour. Yeah, Bulldozer says the last bear market has me conditioned for these kind of moves. Yeah, and again, I've been showing it on the charts, looking at those last cycles. It was even the last bull markets, we had big pullbacks, 30% pullbacks in Bitcoin, and we didn't have that today. Bitcoin did not go 30%. I mean, let's look what over the 2 days, what the decline in Bitcoin has been with both Friday's dump and Saturday's dump. what has been this decline. I guess all the way to the bottom, 13%. That's it. That's nothing compared to what Bitcoin has done before in past bull markets, where it went down 30% and then turned around and just went right back up. But then this move could still be happening too. I mean, this 4-hour chart does not look great. Big red candles, doesn't look great. We could see this go lower. Doesn't look great. What's been Doge's move down in 2 days? All the way to the bottom, 34%. So Doge's was 34%, but not Bitcoin's. Stay strong, guys. Stay strong. That's what Bullrun says. Yep. El Salvador's not selling. That's true. Neither is Michael Saylor. Not selling. Algos and bots are selling. Probably. Like Warren Buffett said, be brave when everyone has fear. Have fear when everyone. You just got to do the opposite of what people think. Buy the dip. Buy when other people are selling. Yep. So going to buy 100,000 Doge now and then buy 300,000 more if it drops more from here. And good luck to you too. Good luck. Yep. Crypto bubbles are still very, very red. Very red overall. Yeah, it looks like Jasmine turned around, is now down 2.5%. Jasmine was trading pretty well earlier. Celestia is still up 12%. So Celestia is holding strong. I have a little bit of Celestia. Bullrun, you still have your Celestia, right? Celestia is trading very well today. Yeah, that's about it that's going on in the markets. That's what we got. For those that weren't here earlier, we do have, again, sort of this parabolic curve pattern for Bitcoin that we have seen in previous cycles. And Bitcoin still has a long ways to go. This pullback here is nothing compared to where Bitcoin's going. Bullrun, you're 33% down on overall portfolio since your last all-time high. Not selling, no way. Yeah. Yeah. My numbers are probably pretty close to that as well. Pretty close to that. Mostly because I've got a lot of Doge, and Doge is down 33% in the past 2 days. So, yep, and you still have your TIA. Good. Good, because Celestia is trading well. Yeah, so again, parabolic curve pattern, Bitcoin, if it follows previous cycles, it's got a long ways to go. The sell point is up here, and we're not up there yet. And what is that number? 140, 180, 200? We'll see. 58K Bitcoin. What were we showing for support? Let's go to the 4-hour chart. 59.4. That's my line. 59.4. That is where Bitcoin dropped on the 5th of March. It came down to 59.4. if Bitcoin drops below 59.4, then there's all of this other liquidity over here that was late February run in Bitcoin that Bitcoin's price has not revisited since. So then we go all the way down to 51K. So yeah, 59.4 is my key support line there. That if that breaks, yeah. I'm not sad, bull run. I am, when there's big red candles, I'm not happy. Put it that way, not happy. But, trying to keep it real. On a Saturday night, chilling too with you guys. Yeah, when in doubt, zoom out. That's what I say too. Why the sell-off? Fear in the market. You've got retail traders fearful. You've got big traders who have lots of coins, who trade daily, see negative news like impending war, pretty much know the price is going to go down, so they dump so they can buy in back in at a lower price. That's a lot of these big red candles, is that. You got a lot of traders with big amounts of coins. Even in Dogecoin, you get whales who trade all the time. And they see an opportunity like this, you bet they're going to sell. And they're going to buy in at a lower price. So yeah, that's a lot of it. We saw it yesterday and then again today. Earlier we were looking at the flight tracker, seeing what was going on. We had a couple wayward planes we were watching, but that kind of righted itself. I'll close that pop-up. But it's interesting how all of these flights from Dubai to Europe are all routing around Egypt. The news earlier today was that Egypt was going to close its airspace, but then it didn't. So all of these Dubai flights, which normally come right over Syria, Israel, this whole area, are flying around now. And this airspace is all clear. Northern Saudi, Iraq, Syria, Jordan, Lebanon, and nobody's flying in there, which is kind of interesting. Kind of interesting. But every once in a while, there's like one plane. Where's this one going? Shanghai to Luxembourg. Shanghai to Luxembourg. Do they know where they are? Do they know where they are? It's a cargo plane. Looks like it's a cargo plane. Probably full of a bunch of cheap Chinese goods going to Europe. But yeah, why they're down here, I don't know. Big cargo plane. Where are you going, buddy? Every once in a while, there's a plane that you see and you're just like, whoa, what is going on there? But yeah, there's a bunch of other planes going to Dubai around the other way. They're all staying out of this area except for this one plane right there. That's pretty wild. Yeah, good night, Bull Run. Thanks for stopping in. Anything else going on? Otherwise, we're going to call it. Biden says, I condemn the Iranian attacks on Israel. Nothing new there. Dogs. David Sachs. It looks like the U.S. will soon be at war with Iran. I don't know about that. I don't know about that. Hey, Daryl. Grimes is having technical difficulties. Update. Iran unleashed massive arsenal in Israel. So far, 185 suicide drones, 36 cruise missiles, and 110 surface-to-surface missiles. Wow. That's a bigger count than what I heard before. Bull's Not Ugly says we're going lower. That's who used to be KSI. KSI has always been a bear, though. Not invading Iran. Australia condemns Iran's attack on Israel. We're just getting more and more countries. Okay, that's up to date now. All right, gang. Hey, just had to come on a Saturday night because of what was going on. Looks like we might be settling in here in the 14s for Doge. Bitcoin 63,000 seems to be the range right here. See where we are. I will not be live next week because I'll be on vacation, my remote Florida location. But I will be making some videos, some daily videos there. I'm able to do that. Just don't have the setup for a live stream. So, but I will be live on Saturday, April 20th, Doge Day. So look for me a week from tonight. No, Florida. Not Iran. Florida. Florida. Getting a little sun, getting away from Boston for a few days. So we'll be doing that next week. Keeping an eye on crypto, of course. That can be like going to Italy where I'm totally shut off. But little vacation time. We definitely needed it. So looking forward to that. Good time. But we'll stay in touch. I hope you all are well, and we will see you next time.
Dogecoin, which started as a complete joke, has like skyrocketed to not a joke anymore. It hit an all-time high of almost 10 cents yesterday, but it was so minuscule you wouldn't have understood why you have millions of shares.
Didn't Elon tweet that too?
And arguably, the most entertaining outcome and the most ironic outcome would be that Dogecoin becomes the currency of Earth in the future.